What's goodies in the hoodies? Thank you for your watch hours. Please do not forget to subscribe. This will be for your Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, or your Mars. As well as if you do have any Capricorn placements inside of your charts. And if you gangsta, you might want to watch every video like you do. And if you are a rock star, be sure to check out every video. Okay. When I was in middle school, I greatly remember my grandmother, Yin. Her real name is Catherine, but she was so popular in this way amongst the family that the family gave her the nickname Ying, which is a Chinese name, Indian, Cherokee, Asian, my background, and my grandmother. So I remember watching my mother, who is a face jerk. I remember watching her, and I remember watching my sister, who is a face jerk. My mother and my sister we would all go over to my grandmother's house all the time. My grandmother actually watched me all of the time. My mom would drop me off in the mornings. My grandmother had me and she watched me all of the time. So I was really close with my grandmother. I organized things with her. We would talk. I loved my grandmother deeply. She is not here no longer, so she can't be with me. You can't see her face right now, right? And I remember just seeing my mother throw these bills at my grandmom all of the time. Every time we went over, I remember sitting on the other side of the room. My grandmother's house was pretty dark brown. She lived in Baltimore City on St. Clair Lane. And I remember just sitting across the room. Give me 1 minuto here. 1 minuto, I'll be right back, sorry. Sorry for any inconvenience. I'm trying to see okay, I cannot find my grandmother's address on here. I was going to give my grandma's address. Of course, I got it down somewhere, but I currently cannot find it. I'll talk about it later. And so I was always at my grandmother's house. And I remember sitting on the bed and seeing my mother and my sister just really shoving things down her throat, and my grandmother yelling at them and her not understanding, her saying I love you and then saying no, like get away from me, like her really trying to get that understanding here. And my grandfather Kelvin, she would fight him, and I just felt like all I kept remember saying was die, die, die to my mother and my sister. I was really young and I was in middle school, but I remember just seeing them be so cruel and a douchebag and a jerk and a face jerk to her. After my grandmother passed away, we went back to the house. My grandfather had passed away too. I don't remember if my grandfather was in there when we arrived, but my grandfather passed away not too long after my grandmother. And we went back to the house, my sister, my face jerk mom, my face jerk sister, and I. And I remember entering the house and a spirit grabbed my ankle to let me know that she was there. I was walking on air and I couldn't get my ankle away from somebody pulling it. And we walked into the house. I like to watch documentaries on haunted things. And most of those documentaries definitely, the extreme ones, are definitely from face jerks. But the way my grandmother pulled my leg was amazing. I just remember saying, I have to tell this. Like, that was so cool, you know? And after she passed, because she had told me her favorite color was blue, and a blue flower grew outside of her house. And it was beautiful. Homelessness. I drove through the cities of Baltimore day and night. I have all of the cities written down: Pig Streets, Charles Streets, everywhere. And I seen a lot of homelessness. Homelessness is a firestorm across the nation. When you are homeless, it is hard to believe that people care about you. You have to grab whichever knowledge comes with you. Some people don't have phones, and these are XO sacred crew out there homeless. You know, they have to base it on their own knowledge. They have to try to find time to go to the library, figure out which food to eat that night, how to get food, where am I going to sleep, who am I going to sleep, what's happening, you know. And it's hard because you go out there with as much knowledge as you can, and you have to keep growing your knowledge for survival. And the housing insecurity and food insecurity shouldn't be happening. And as we grow together, you and I, XO Sacred Crew, I become more aware, which I'm very grateful, than what I was last year, about make believe, about friendships, because I needed people to show me. And even in college, I was super lonely. And I guess we all are lonely, but we must pray much deeper for those who are outside, or whichever circumstances that everybody is in. But as we go through each eclipse, as we gain more knowledge together, you and I are able to gain new relationships, right? The Mayans the Mayans in 2012 did not want for this evolutionized thing to happen, for relationships, for people to believe and make believe, for intelligent people to believe, because a lot of people want to defeat us. Those stupid jerks, they want to defeat us because that's what they exercised. They love it here. The homelessness, being a jerk face. They won't face it that it's bad. Some do, but it's still bad. And the Mayans made this first prophecy in 1999 about how the human evolutionized soul would be retrieved, and that all of us are on this journey together, and how each prophecy that the Mayans did make last for 13 years. And yeah, I've definitely gained a lot of superpowers. I learned how to fly. I learned how to get my wish to come true. It actually came true across the whole America, just the way I wanted it to. And what else? Yeah, telekinesis. Some people can teleport. It's a lot to talk about, but we are currently in the second prophecy of the Mayans. My stance and restatement about Adrian, the Morgan and Adrian debates. My stance is there is so much to love about you and I can build my core strength. My value. The zodiac Scorpio is profound transformation experiences like deep losses, illnesses, or betrayals offer you and I glimpses of your most powerful vulnerability and the eternal nature of human experiences. Through surviving unbearable loss, your encounters with the human spirit, within that, you and I see a deeper meaning at work. Alchemical. My contention is I have been out here wasting hella time. XO is the only time invested. My personal criterion is that through the invisible, I realize that I am made of something that is bigger than myself. Adrian, tarot's reading. Found out in previous readings that Adrian is a Pisces zodiac sign, like myself. Now, Adrian could have been a candidate for president. But due to the loss and what was around him, that could not have been made possible during that time in 2012. I will be pulling cards from the Horror Tarot. Okay. For Adrian, tarot's reading about Adrian's magical skills. I don't want to be a stupid girl. I blasted that song all through the streets of Baltimore City. One profound experience that I had was this black boy looked at me in excitement at the red light. He was so excited. I was wearing a hat and I hadn't had my hair done in like 6 months. Delivering food for DoorDash. Hey. Adrian. What is Adrian's magical skills? Let the doves cry for us. You and I. 6 of Pentacles. 7 of Swords. 9 of Wands in reverse. 2 more cards. 10 of Pentacles. That reminds me of Baltimore, Edgar Allan Poe. About all of those face jerks in that. Shout out to my professor who introduced me to that. book in our class. He taught it to us. Two of Pentacles in reverse. Let's see if we can get a quartz card here. So we have a loss of majesty of a sunset. But we have, you and I have Adrian, who is still happy to do the work to make people get to safety. King of Pentacles. Court card. Okay, Zodiac Scorpio. Monudo. Okay. King of Pentacles. What's that? Okay. The Earth King, the Zodiac Taurus. The person to tell you how to manage your finances or where to get money from. So Adrian was getting money from being a doctor. Six of Pentacles. Now, he's not a Taurus. He was just here getting money from being a doctor, helping others. Six of Pentacles. Yeah, Adrian was like, wait a minute, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute is what Adrian had said. Seven of Swords. Wow. Injured. It looks like here. Remember, now, we have a dark side to us. All of us. How can we be our full selves if we do not stare into the dark? Adrian here has swords in his back. Taking them out himself. Lonely. Nine of Wands in reverse. Wasn't seen really behind the scenes, but had the power. Like, to use his mind to create change. This picture reminds me of Baltimore. I cannot think of anything different because of that Edgar Allan Poe show that I seen. And there is a book collection on it. Rising to help others, rising up from the dead. Could have been hidden because he was a doctor. He could have been hidden from the world. He could have been hidden from opportunities, from knowing who he was on the inside. Two of Pentacles in reverse. Wow. I love those. I like those two hands. It's a man and a woman hand. It kind of reminds me of me and Adrian having hands like this. Adrian and I. Okay, let's move on. Yeah. It does remind me of that. Okay. Whew. Okay. Let's see. What do I want for war? Okay. Some of these messages, a few are things that I want to stop while we are at war here. Okay. I have the P word. Abuse from people who have the higher power structures since years and years ago. Who has been running the world? Jealousy. The P word is pedophilia. Jealousy. Devil energy such as childhood trauma is from the tree of others who are jealous. Lies about love. Spreading lies about fantasy love by insinuating that fantasy love does not exist. Make believe. I learned more since writing these cards. Insinuating that twin flames do not exist, that nobody has a true partner, that that's not real, that isn't real to them, and having this information displayed and the universe seeing this. So it's really a fight. Twin flames do exist. Real love does exist. Although God has intended for us to love and fill up our cups, Goddess. Fighting. Fights between everybody and overall XO sacred crew. As we continue to grow. I don't know. I told you I wrote these cards before. So fights could be because of lack of knowledge, and experience. That fights do happen. Because we are trying to grab knowledge, the little that we can with the little resources that are out here. And bring that forth to everybody. The feminine body healing. Masculines too. But the womb, the female body healing. The feminine body is not meant to work as hard as it currently is. Masculines too, but as well. The feminine body has to do this because of circumstances that the global world built on false intelligence has created. Let's pull in Oracle. Spirits Junkie. by Gabrielle Bernstein, artwork by Michaela Ezra. I accept the gifts I've been given as a high service to the world. At the bottom, I love the pink. There's so much pink. Taking care of myself is a radical act of love. Speaking of pink, pink artist, Stupid Girls. I communicate with ease and grace. People are willing to embrace what I have to say. I can't control the world, but I can control how I choose to perceive it. I seek out happy people who inspire me to be great. I honor my self-worth by asking for what I want. I can forgive people quickly, release my resentments, and set myself free. I trust that my intuition is always leading me in the right direction. Okay, so much pink. Let's take the pinkest card here. I claim my desires. I hold great visions. I am ready to receive. Let's get it, XO crew. We are out here working with the universe together. You and I are working together. Okay, Will gets the prayer labyrinth now. We will close this out with prayer. I actually do not have a prayer labyrinth, but I do have my imagination. Dear God, thank you for everything. Thank you for the gift of forgiveness. Thank you for the gift of self-worth. Thank you for the gift of possibilities. Thank you for the gift of being able to show up. Thank you for the gift of compassion. Thank you for the abundance of help. God, I pray that everybody is doing well and that everybody knows their story in my sacred crew, and that knowledge is available to them to have each and every day a successful one, and that they are perfect. In your name I pray, amen. Thank you for the watch hours. Please do not forget to subscribe. A tutelar.